So Abaddon is the first boss of Stellar Blade that is an actual real boss. In this video, I will be showing you how easily it is to tell what attacks are coming and what's the best way to dodge or counter each and every one of his moves, and I hope that this video can help newer players and veterans that are playing New Game Plus. Starting off, let's look at the first attack that he does. This will happen every single time that you fight him. He will do a lunge cross slash. The best way to tell when he is doing that is when he does a yell followed by him charging directly at you. You can block or parry the first attack, then he will roll and then do a unblockable attack with the yellow pulse. The best way to counter that is to use blink and waiting for the blink to happen, blue pulse on your sword before you do the move, which is dash and circle. Now to see that fully in action. Next will be the cross slash, as I like to call it. The best way to tell when he is doing this is that he will raise both arms over his head, but he will start with his right arm going over his head first, as you can see right here. The best way to counter this attack is by blocking or parrying as soon as the sword starts going down, as you can see with this clip. This upcoming attack is the flurry slashes. This will be later on in the video. He will do an X motion with both swords over his chest in front of you. The best way to counter this attack is by blocking or parrying both swords. Now let's see the full counter in action. The second phase is easy to know when he is going to do. The best way to tell when he's doing that is when the video game literally zooms into the boss. The best way to counter this is by perfect dodging or being significantly out of range, because as that zoom in is happening, you can still move your character. If you do get hit by the attack, don't worry, as it doesn't do damage, it only does knockback. But it is subject to a perfect dodge, and you can do the perfect dodge counter if you can hit it, as you can see here. With the second phase being unlocked, he gains a lot of new attacks, this one being the summoning lightning strikes. The best way to tell when he is doing this is that he will do a yellow pulse followed by him pointing both swords into the sky. This will cause a lot of lightning strikes to happen around you. The best way to counter this is to keep an eye on your surroundings, look at the floor near you, and dodge and try to get back. That way you can get enough distance from the boss so that if he tries to do an attack, this lightning strikes will stop, as seen here. Next will be the jumping power slam. This is similar to the second phase change, but this time it will do damage to you. The best way to tell when he is doing this is that he will move both swords to the right and he will jump in the air. The best way to counter this is to either spam dodge until you are out of range, or perfect time the dodge so that you get a free hit, as seen in this clip. If you're liking the movement breakdown so far, then consider liking and subscribing to get more, as I plan on doing more boss guides in the future. Now back to the video. Next will be the lightning swipe and bolts. So this move, he will point both swords into the sky, which is similar to him summoning lightning, but instead he will draw both swords back in and launch a lightning projectile crescent in your general direction. The best way to counter this is when he starts to bring his swords back down, you get some distance. That way you can possibly perfect dodge the crescent part of the attack, or it will basically miss you if you're far enough away. Then he will start to shoot lightning bolts at you, not from the sky, but from his own head. And these are very easy to perfect dodge, and if you can perfect dodge into a perfect hit, which is seen in the clip, then most of the bolts will miss you, but it's not a guarantee. The best way to guarantee not taking damage is to just basically keep dodge into an attack like in this clip. Next will be the red body flurry, which is the same as the flurry attacks in the first phase, but instead his body will glow red. He will do 2 hits and then jump back. The best way to counter this is to block or parry all of these attacks, as seen here. And finally, his last attack that he will use in this boss fight will be the cross attack and cross lunge. The best way to tell when he is doing this is that when he will do a arm pump followed by a X cross attack, he will jump back and then also do an X slash attack. The best way to counter is again to block and parry as seen here. So having seen all the tells and how to counter each and every attack, let's look at a full fight to show you how to implement every single one of them. Now, your experience will probably be different to me, as my current build is I always use the Reflex Exospine, which gives you a lot more room with perfect dodges and perfect blocks, as in my opinion that is the best Exospine to use. For most skills, if you have the basic skills, it is not that difficult of a boss fight to do. As seen in my description, I will have a description of when I first fought the boss, and I will have a timestamp in that video where I do the full boss, so you can see, if you're a new player, how I went about doing the boss fight. If you are struggling, then I understand. The best way is to try and try again. That's why in these type of games, usually my first few attempts is just all about learning the visual cues as well as the attack patterns of the boss. It might take a few times. It's understandable if you don't get it the first try. It's very difficult most of the time to do. But anyway, I hope this video has helped you in some way, and I plan on doing other boss guides in the future. Thank you for watching, and I hope you kill Abaddon in the most agonizing way. Peace.